Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Alicia Menendez. Joining me today is Amy Comstock Rick, CEO of the Parkinson's Action Network. Amy, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the work that the Parkinson's Action Network does.
Well, the Parkinson's Action Network, or PAN as we're known, is really somewhat unique in Washington for disease organizations. We work on all the public policy issues affecting the Parkinson's disease community. That's legislation or regulations in the executive branch. But what makes us unique is that the Parkinson's community has united on public policy issues within PAN. So we represent all the national organizations, all the individual Parkinson's organizations around the country with one voice in Washington. So that does mean that we work hard to come up with our positions on particular issues, but when we present them to Congress or to the administration, we're presenting as a whole community. That makes us more powerful and stronger in our voice.
And what are some of the big legislative challenges, opportunities facing this community?
Well, there's many, because this disease is one for which we still don't have adequate therapies or treatments, so we need a lot more research. So some of our legislative issues are research-based, but we also need very much to focus on those who have Parkinson's disease today. So some of our legislative efforts go to promoting research in the National Institute for Health, and some of our efforts go to Medicare issues and Social Security disability issues. So we really want to make sure we cover the spectrum.
And when we think about Parkinson's, there are so many misconceptions. Give me a few of the facts about Parkinson's.
Sure. There's a lot we don't know about Parkinson's, but we understand that about 1 million or 1.5 million people in this country have it. We don't have an accurate count because it is not a disease that's considered a registered disease. If someone's diagnosed, there isn't a count being kept anywhere. It does tend to be a disease of the aging. About 80 to 85% tend to be over 50 or 55, but we understand it appears that more and more younger people, meaning under 50, are being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It is a common misconception, completely wrong, that Parkinson's disease is just a physical disease, meaning that the tremor or the interference with the ability to walk is the primary symptom. And in fact, it's the only symptom we can treat with medication. But in fact, the cognitive impact, your ability to think, depression, very serious issues in Parkinson's disease.
And so, when you talk about these communities that are being affected, what do you think is the hope for Parkinson's?
There's significant hope for Parkinson's. We're doing some very exciting research right now into both the cause of the disease as well as better treatments. There is some exciting research going on where we hope we can diagnose people who have Parkinson's disease earlier than we can now. So if you can catch someone before their physical symptoms appear and then match that with an early treatment, you might still have Parkinson's, but in a way that doesn't interfere with your quality of life. It's a brain disease and it's complicated, so we do have a long way to go.
And Parkinson's seems to be one of those diseases that affects more than just the person who has it. It affects the whole family.
Absolutely. It absolutely affects the family, the employer. It's a very difficult disease, and it's a progressive disease. And so while we always want to talk about hope and where we want to be in the future, the reality is that dealing with advanced Parkinson's right now with the treatments that we have is very difficult, and the toll on caregivers can be significant.
So we only have about 30 seconds, but I want to ask you quickly. It seems that as we have a rapidly aging population, Parkinson's could come more into focus.
Absolutely, and we desperately need to focus on more research and better treatments because we don't have them yet, and we are aging as a population.
And so what type of work is PAN doing to that end?
We're promoting more effective research in the federal government so that we can try and grab Parkinson's earlier and keep people as active members of society much, much longer.
Right, because that then becomes the challenge, not only how do you prevent this, but
how do you live with it? And we want people to be able to live better with Parkinson's, and then we'll find a cure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been very informative.
Thank you for having me.
To learn more about what Comcast is doing in your community, you can go to On Demand and click Get Local. For Comcast Newsmakers, I'm Alicia Menendez.